What timeless isle feature do you wish to highlight for players who are interested in going there for the first time?
Um, I mean, I guess one of the coolest, unique things about the Time of Cell is there's a lot of interactable objects on the island. You've probably seen some of them if you've been playing out there. Things like you can click on fruit, like for heals. There's giant rune stones that you can click occasionally that'll do buffs. There's eggs you can open that'll give you like a companion for a limited period of time. So there's a lot of really interesting, unique gameplay out there where at first it might seem like things are hard, but if you look around the environment and look for places to pull things and kind of really take note of how things are working there, there's actually a lot of cool stuff that you can do that's not immediately obvious to you, and I think that's one of the cool hits about the island.
That's cool. The Timeless Isle sound like a paradise platform to introduce missing Transmogrification retro year. Any plans to add those later on with timeless coins?
I mean, there's always the opportunity for that. We love giving out that gear. We know transmog is a very popular feature. We like making sure there's lots of stuff to fill out on that. I think our vibe is that we really felt like we really got the rewards covered on Timeless Isle. I'm sure you've seen the list of how many new toys and unique items that are already there. So we're probably not feeling like we need to add much more in that vein of more like unique stuff that you can only get there. But we're always looking at ways to, give out gear that's not available currently for transmog in ways that make sense and feel fun.
We have the looking for a group feature for the mainstream player base. What's the purpose of flexible rates, and what was the development team's early internal discussion about it?
It's something we've been talking about for a long time. The concept of giving players an option of content that's between LFR and normal. So it has obviously its own unique difficulty level. I think the icing on the cake, really, with the core concept of it that it adds, though, is the fact that you can do it with a varying number of players between the 10 and 25. So you don't have to have you have 18 people and you're like, oh man, we either have to have 8 people sit to do the 10 or we don't have enough to do the 25. So love the fact that it opens up the opportunity for people to be able to play the way they want to play. And not only that, but when they do play, they'll be playing against something that's tuned, specifically for the number of people that they have.
Okay, I have seen some people confused in Twitter. What is Connected Realms, and how does that benefit the player base broadly in comparison with what we currently have?
Connected Realms are a completely different concept than CRZ. Whereas what CRZ does is it can virtually put 2 people together in a space that are on 2 different realms, and you can do some things, right? Like you can chat and do kills together, but it's very different than the concept of Connected Realms, which should be a completely seamless experience, meaning that you could be in a guild with someone, you can do any sort of content with them, you can have them on your friends list, stuff like that. Our goal there for Connected Realms is really to make it feel seamless. If we were to merge 3 realms into one as a connected realm, it should really feel like all of those people from all 3 realms exist on the same realm. And this is everywhere. It's not like CRZ where we say, in this zone we want this number of people to be merged together. In this zone we don't want anyone to be merged together. With Connected Realms, essentially we can connect the entire realm as one.
That's awesome. I already got my legendary cloak and got punched to a pulp by the 4 Celestials in PTR. That hurt. What should fans of the Radiant legendary questline look forward to in the finale of this questline?
They should look forward to a super awesome legendary cloak for sure, with awesome proc effects, really great art. We are really excited to be able to offer a unique piece of content for getting the cloak, and that's Ordos on the Timeless Isle. If you have the cloak, you'll be able to fight Ordos. On top of that, we made the ability to fight Ordos be account wide. So if you have the cloak, your other characters could fight, or they won't have the cloak obviously, but they'll have the ability to get up top, at the top of the Timeless Isle. So I think it's just really the accumulation of what, 4 patches of work leading towards this legendary questline, working with Wrathion. Tons of great story, lots of really great content along the way. We really want it to pay out. And most exciting of all is people will get a chance to actually use the cloak in the Siege of Orgrimmar. It's not like historically where you've gotten the legendary and then there wasn't really a place for you to use it. We really planned this whole thing with the concept that when you got the cloak, you'd be able to use it in the final raid.
Really cool. Any spoilers about this jungle god that is sitting atop the Timeless Isle?
Oh man, there's tons of things that I could spoil for you on the Timeless Isle. No, that's something you guys will probably have to find out on your own. But there's tons and tons of stuff out there that's just like that. There's all kinds of things that are just new things that we haven't really tried in WoW before that we are trying on the Timeless Isle. So the biggest thing would just be letting people know to explore.
I think some fans will like to know this one. Once the cloak becomes too low in eye level in the next expansion and players use the legendary cloak to transmog, will the future cloaks inherit the visual effects or the procs through transmog?
It's not something I could really answer right now. We wouldn't really know that until we get to that point, to be honest. We don't know what the item levels are going to be. We don't know how loot acquisition is going to work. That's really something that we would make more of a decision on when we get there.
Alright. There is a lot of PvP, Battleground, and Arena content in patch 5.4. What changes excite you the most and can't wait until players experience those?
There's a ton of stuff across the board with PvP that we've done. Probably, most interesting is just the fact of how we've tuned that gear and the requirements to make it feel like more people can be involved. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's really been a goal since we have Brian Halinka as our basically our like kind of lead PvP designer. He's the guy we hired specifically to focus on PvP, and it's been really nice for us here because we have the ability now to have someone that's focused on PvP all the time and making sure that it feels like something that's getting the love and the attention that it deserves. We've always cared about PvP and spent time on it, but it's nice now to have someone specifically dedicated to it. Probably the concept of being able to join arenas without having a team is one of the biggest, most exciting ones overall. The fact that you can do that now without having to go through the whole process of creating a team and having the rating work for the team, now it uses the individual. I think that's a really cool thing. There's a lot of tuning that's gone into the classes just across the board to make sure that PvP is fun and is working in the way that we want. So I think in general, players should be really excited, our PvP players specifically, about patch 5.4.
What can you tell us about the Pet Battle tournament in Timeless Isle?
Well, it's a unique, specific thing that we have never really done anything like that before. The concept behind it is it's a scenario for pet battles. And the way it works is you can queue up for it, and you have to fight 6 trainers in a row, and you have to be able to get through all the trainers without using your heal spell or any pet battle bandages at all. If you do use either of those, it'll reset it and cancel you out.
Wow, that's it's going to be fun.
It's really fun. You have to build a team very specifically to get through it, but there's a set of 3 bosses at the front, and then there's 3 at the end, and those 3 at the end actually rotate through 12 unique individual pet trainers, and each trainer has his own unique set of pets. So, and that rotates on a weekly basis. So every time you come back to it week after week, in theory, you'll be seeing, you could go a whole month and never see the same team that you're fighting.
Right. I think that was.
And that's the reward for that is the new celestial pets. That's the only way to get the celestial pets.
Oh, nice. Well, I think that's all about for the interview. Thank you so much, Cory and Sarhim, for the interview.
Yeah, no problem. It was fun.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Thank you.